This video will ask you to give yourself a day off. For 24 hours, you get a break from how life has been feeling. It will ask you to take a step back from your normal way of getting through life and try a different plan for a day. There's no rocket science to this 24-hour plan, and it doesn't matter what's causing you to feel the way that you do. You'll just see 5 really simple but really important steps, and the people who take these 5 steps will feel a little better. Step 1 is write it down. Whatever is happening in your life, everything that's on your mind, the things you worry about, what's causing you stress, no matter what it is, grab a notepad or just a scrap piece of paper and start writing. This might seem difficult, but it's important. Writing about our life seems to have the same benefits as talking about them. When we hold things inside our head, they generate stress. When we turn them into language or words, our mind seems to feel less burdened. We can't say why this happens, just know that it does. Now, because this first step is difficult but really important, here are some basic questions. Writing down your answers to any of these will be enough. 1. What keeps you awake worrying at night? 2. What made you come to this video channel? 3. If someone had to live your life, what would they not enjoy about it? And 4. If you had an appointment to see a therapist tomorrow, what would you talk to them about? Doesn't matter if you don't get everything down. You can add to the list throughout the day if more things spring to your mind. Remember that this is private. It's your list. So no one needs to see it. You can destroy it, burn it, or shred it afterwards if that makes you feel safer. Step 2 is switching off our phones. Now, if that idea fills you with horror, then you better switch yours off straight away. TV, social media, the news might have some benefits, but they all increase our stress, unhappiness, and loneliness. Unless you're expecting a life or death phone call from the hospital or your job is as an air traffic controller or something, then we need a day where we take back control over our time. Away from gadgets, pings, buzzing and ringing, a day when we don't check our messages. We escape the artificial social media bubble and deal with emails when we're at work. Today is us, returning back to simpler times. So that includes recognising our need to experience life as electronically free as we can make it. The only exception for today is music. We can all probably agree that our life needs a soundtrack. Now, after you've switched off your gadgets, wrote down what's inside your head, then step 3 is nature. Human beings are an outdoor species. We're not designed to sit inside. Spending some time today outside will be key. Now, that can be in a garden or a park if that's near you, but we recommend that for today, go full hardcore nature. Take the time to walk the beach or wander through a woodland. Getting the most benefit from this step is to really experience it. Tuning into the sounds, breathing the air, noticing the smells and soaking up the colours. And this bit might sound a bit weird, but touch it. If you're on the beach, touch the water with your hand. Same if you're beside a river, or if you're in a forest, make sure you touch the bark of a tree or the softness of some moss. It can be for as short as 30 seconds, but take the moment to touch what you're part of before you leave. If you can allow yourself to take your shoes off, again, just for 30 seconds, and feel the grass or sand or water on your feet, your mind will thank you for the courage or effort it takes. If that's just a bit too hippie-ish or tree huggy for you, then remind yourself it's one day and it's worth it because, well, it's worth it because you've had enough of feeling like this. Step 4 is getting sweaty. For our species, exercise is our natural antidepressant. It lifts our mood, calms our anxiety, and turns down the volume inside our head. It also reduces our blood pressure, manages our weight, and gives us a deeper sleep. And that's on top of reducing our risk of cancer, diabetes, heart disease, and stroke. See, imagine if this was in a pill. We'd be trampling over the top of each other to get into the chemist. But we just need something to balance and settle our mind. And 30 minutes brisk exercise today will give us that. Choose any exercise that's the easiest for you. A 30-minute walk is as good for our head as a run or a cycle or a swim. You can even combine this step with the others that we've already been talking about. Step 5 is early to bed. Have you ever heard the old saying that each hour in bed before midnight is worth 2 after? Well, it turns out that that's true. Setting up a regular bedtime routine is the start of experiencing a better quality sleep. A bedtime routine should be simple. Just imagine the bedtime routine you would have for a child. Our need for a bedtime routine doesn't change once we're adults. What a 5-year-old needs for a good night's sleep is exactly the same as a 30-year-old or a 45 or 65-year-old does. Now, none of these 5 steps we've covered here will take away the causes of your unhappiness or fears. Absolutely know that. This day is about stepping out of our head during a period of our life that just feels too difficult. The secret to this day is be aware of what your mind does with these 5 ideas. They're not random suggestions. They're the 5 activities that years of research tells us has the biggest impact on our mental health. And even if there was no scientific evidence, they're the 5 things that we all know to be crucial to how we feel just from our own life experience. But your mind will want to think about them, decide if they're good ideas or rubbish, weigh them up, debate them, question them, resist them, worry about them, and try to talk you out of them. So, for one day, tell your mind you have no choice. I'm just doing them, all 5, today, without expecting anything, but I must complete all 5 things. Then just notice if tonight, do you feel glad that you've done them? And who knows, tomorrow, you might just decide that you'll do it all again. Now, switch off whichever gadget you're watching this video on, pick up a notepad and write down all of the pain, then head outdoors to where we're meant to live. Enjoy your day of peace.